So, for those of you that haven't seen the first video that I've done, I went through the process of creating a song. If you haven't seen that video, please go back and see it, and you'll be able to get caught up with what I have currently done on this song. To talk a little bit about it, it is a piano song that I added a little bit of a drone to, and that is about it. Yeah, very simple. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the second part of my process, and we'll see if I can make it to the end. So let's get started. All right, so I've already listened back to this song, and I'm quite happy with how it's turned out so far. There are a couple of ideas, though, that I have now. And one of those ideas is I may add a different instrument here. And so that is part of the process. You take a little bit of a break from your song, and initially you might have had a vision, but now that vision has changed. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how I work in this new vision of mine. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so where this vision begins to change is around this area. But first, I want to go ahead and do something I should have done last video. All right, so far I have gone and changed how my two piano parts act. So usually in sheet music, you'll have two different portions to the piano, and that is just what I did here. So I took the melody and I made it its own section, and I took the bass part and I made that its own section. And you can actually see a big difference in how the overall music looks. If you come here, it looks very clean, just the bass part. Very simple, nothing too crazy about it. And then you have the melody here. And now we're going to get to my vision, the part that I wanted to change. So here it is. This part where there's nothing here aside from the bass, I want to add something, because I felt that there was something lacking here. So let me go ahead and get a new part. And this new part will be, for now, what I like, or what I think I'll go with, is a harp sound. And I think harps kind of go with this soft sounds that I'm going for with this piano. So it's not really changing the overall tone of the song, but it is adding an extra element to it to make it sound a little bit fuller. And what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go with a little bit of an arpeggio here. Basically, I am going to take a bunch of notes and move them up and down to create a sort of rhythm in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You'll see that in a very fast forward motion, but when I'm done with that, I'll come back and explain a little bit more. Okay, I was getting a little bit ahead of myself there, but right now it is finished, the part that I was looking at, and I think it sounds really nice for a start. So let's go ahead and listen back to what it sounds like with this new part. There's a little bit of a build-up here, and I think that's a really good sign for this particular song. Sometimes it is nice to go down here, but I think for this song, my change of heart here is that I really wanted to uplift this song and make it continue to build. I really love building up in songs, so you'll probably see that in a lot of my songs that I make. So in this particular song, I loved how this came out, and maybe I'll make some tweaks here or there later, but this is a good start. And I'm going to go ahead and continue this into the next section, so I'll be right back. And afterwards we can listen to how that section sounds with this new change as well. Alright, so I have gone ahead and added the next part, so let's go ahead and listen to how it sounds all together. Alright, so you hear the difference here. There's a lot of build up, there is all of these intricate notes in the background, and you can tell that based off how I was talking in the last video, I've changed my vision quite drastically here. So, why did I decide to go with this new change? Well, I don't exactly know. It just felt better to me. I think overall I would like a build-up that isn't just so plain, and I felt like when I had this one section here with just bass notes, it felt really plain. There wasn't really much going on here, and so to compensate for that, I decided to add these extra parts to kind of add some flavor here and make it sound like there is some change going on. So adding these, I think it's really nice. And I can also go back and maybe make a second version of this song that is just purely the piano. So far I am really happy with the build-up. Maybe I'll make some changes here. I don't particularly like the really high notes of the harp here, so maybe I would try and change out the instrument later. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and change on to the next part, which is something that we haven't covered yet, which is the climax. So I'm going to go ahead and see what I can add in here or there, and once I have an idea for how I want it to sound, I'll come back and maybe talk about it a little bit. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so I have changed, or I've added the ending here, and I am really happy with how it sounds, although it is a little different from what I initially thought. So let's go ahead and listen to how it sounds with a little bit of the previous part. Okay, as you can see, it's very different from the kind of feeling I was going for initially, and that is how some songs can go. So, in order to accommodate for this change, I think I'm going to have to change a lot of the previous parts here. I don't know if I'm going to have a separate version for the quiet piano, But I am starting to get a different vision, and that new vision is very much I have to build this up and see where it goes, and I see where it went. Now I need to know how I got there. So I'm going to go back in and see if I can kind of bridge this transition between the beginning and the end here and see if it'll sound much more smooth in the build-up. So I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so I've gone back through and changed a couple of different sections here, so I want to go ahead and listen to the whole thing with you to see where I'm at right now. And I will say that it has changed quite a bit, so don't be expecting the song you heard from the previous part. So let's go ahead and listen. Alright, so there you have it. I have changed quite a bit of this song, and I'm not going to end it there. I'm not going to end it there. I'm not going to end it there. Hi there. I really hate to say this, but I did lie to you. I lied to you because this video became a lot longer than I thought it would, and so I have to split it into two parts. But on the bright side, that means that there will be more videos about this topic and about this song. And honestly, it's probably for the best because I changed the song quite drastically after this. So right now I've shown you how to make a whole song based off a piano. In the next video, I will go much more in depth on the process that I use to make music. And it'll be with orchestral music, so please look forward to that. But like I said, comment below, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.